At your job, do you ever have to deal with a nose roller? How about a snub pulley? Well, if you're installing a new conveyor belt system, dealing with the different components can sound like you're speaking a foreign language. Luckily, you've got a team ready to help. Grainger's technical product specialists are fluent in maintenance, repair, and operations. So whenever you want to talk shop, just reach out. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. Welcome to Fight in Sight podcast. Look who it is, my new co-host, UFC veteran Brian Bam Bam Barberino. What's up, my friend?
What's up? Happy to be here.
Good,
Emphasis
buddy.
on new co-host.
New co-host. The contract negotiations are still going out, but we're coming close to an agreement.
Yeah,
You're going to be here for the foreseeable
I'm gonna get
future,
what I
my friend.
want.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Look, this week we've got a great podcast. We started off with Big Sam. He's an influencer boxer. He's an entertainer. He does it all, but he's fighting his fourth fight coming up in just a few weeks. So he's here to talk to us. We saw him 2 years ago, so we're going to see him again. Big Sam, happy to meet him and introduce him to the people that don't already know him. Then we go out to East Coast Canada, Fredericton, New Brunswick. We meet a Fight League Atlantic fighter who's fighting at FLA 18 on February 1st. It is Mean Devin Turner. Bam Bam. He's like you. He's a mohawk
beard,
bearded up,
like
tough SOB.
Scrap.
Yeah. That's the kind of guy we want on this podcast, man. Bam Bam, let's get things started. Let's kick off the show.
Let's go.
You're supposed to say hit it and punch the screen.
Hit it!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Fight in Sight podcast.
Our first guest today makes his return to the podcast after a little over 2 years ago. Bam Bam, this Greenville, North Carolina native, is an influencer, perhaps best known for smoking Pringles, but he's a comedian, a musical artist, a motivational speaker, an entertainer, and a boxer. He's coming off his first win last April. He now makes his return this January 24th in Nashville, Tennessee at Creator Fight League 3, where he takes on Cake Paul. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Big Sam.
Nice to meet y'all.
What's going on, my friend, Big Sam?
Man, we woke up this morning. We blessed. We winning, man. Today's a day to win.
That's it,
my
friend.
I like to hear that.
Yes, sir.
Bam Bam, the first time I met this man was 2 years ago. He's an influencer. I saw him on the local scene, doing his influencer thing. And I'm like, that was when influencer boxing was kind of just coming up, really, Big Sam. Like, it was kind of like starting to get popular. Now here you are coming into your third fight, coming off of your first win. How are you feeling and what's up with you, man?
Man, I'm great. It's been a journey. I remember taking my first fight on a 7-day notice back in 2021, and I never boxed a day in my life before, and now we're here with the fourth fight. I'm here. It's ready to go.
Nice.
I was just about to ask that. If you had any boxing experience, if you, had it before, or how'd you get into boxing? Was it just kind of the influencer thing and then they kind of reached out, or?
It's random because I had reached out to a platform, but I didn't have no followers. And then once my followers got it, once I got like 17K, they responded and said, we got an opponent for you. 7-day notice, never boxed in my life. And I took it. And now we're on to the fourth fight. I'm ready. I'm here.
Wow. Okay. 7 days. You said 7 days notice?
Yeah, 7-day notice.
Wow.
But, okay. Oh. 7 days notice of the fight, but had you been training before? Had you ever trained to fight before?
Nah, I never trained in my life to fight. I never, ever.
So you hit the Pringles can and just went for it then?
It was bad. I took a beating.
Damn.
So, okay, but where are you at now, Big Sam? Because now you've got experience under the belt, right? Like, and here's the thing too, these influencer fights, Bam Bam, it's different, dude, than like when probably back in your day when amateurs were fighting on like whatever card, right, in a small school gymnasium or something like that. Yeah. Now these influencer fighters on a 7-day notice, you're fighting in big crowds, you're fighting with lots of people paying attention. Like there's a lot more pressure, man. But Sam, speak to that. You're in your fourth fight now. What's different now than before?
My first two fights, I didn't have a coach. When I fought in March, I I have been talking to this coach. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu out in Jacksonville, North Carolina. Man, he's amazing. Coach Derek, man, he's with me, and man, he's helped me get better. I know how to throw a straight punch. I know how to do everything. My first 2 fights, I didn't have a coach, and it was terrible, so man, we're here with the 4th fight, and it's going to be beautiful.
So was it then your last fight is your 3rd fight, which was your first win? Was that then a big credit to finally having a coach taking this a little bit more serious?
Yeah, and then it's crazy because that fight I just won, we only trained 3 weeks for it. I know I came to him. I came to him in January. No, I came to him in February, and we fought in March. So yeah, that it's just great. I'm grateful to have him, and he's amazing. He's real helpful. We got a lot of work to do, but we're January 24th we're going viral. It's gonna be a movie.
Oh,
nice,
right.
man.
So do you guys meet up often to get the training in and everything? Kind of
prep? Yeah. I actually trained with him on New Year's Day to bring the New Year's in, getting work in. He's proud of me. I know how to throw jabs. I'm not panicking. I'm not turning my head as much. I'm not turning my body. I'm just, all I needed was a coach. And we there.
Now, how much are you training though? Because today, as we record this, it is the 6th of January. When Bam Bam asked you, you're saying, well, I trained with him on New Year's Day. What happened in the last 5 days, my friend?
A lot of stuff has been going on, like family matters, but I have my own training regimen. I run, I lift. Before this fight, we trained every day. We trained Monday through Friday, 3-hour sessions a day. So like I'm saying, this fight, we're training, but I've been training since last March. So really, we're just doing a lot of sparring. We're just working on fundamentals, doing a lot of things, So I've been able to let him take care of his family matters because I'm a real caring person. This boxing, I care more about family than saying, hey, stop what's going on with your family to focus on this boxing. We got time, because I'm working. Like, a couple hours ago, I jump rope for about 60 minutes. I did a whole bunch of rounds, so work's getting done.
Nice,
okay.
Dude.
So that's good to hear. That's good. You got your own work going in, and these family things and things happen where they need to be taken care of. But it's good that you're getting that work in, beside the point too. On your own, you're still putting in that work, getting better. And you said you've been training since last March. I mean,
yeah,
probably gonna see a whole different animal in there.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Because that's the thing too, was it 2 years ago? Geez Louise. I was going on an influencer run, I think, Bam Bam. But 2 years ago, my first podcast of the year for, I guess, would have been 2023 was with a influencer boxer by the name of Sarah Ferrugia. She's a Canadian girl. She fought at, oh my goodness, that big influencer league. What's the big one in like
Misfit?
New York?
Misfit.
No, not Misfit. It was the other one, Barstool or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, she fights out there, but she goes out and just murders this girl because even though she only trained for, I think, like a couple months, she went and trained with a professional boxer from Canada, Mark Pakagliwangan, who's a professional boxer, trained with him. She goes out there and Sam, here's the thing, man. When you train with a real person and you're learning the true fundamentals, like you said, how to throw a jab, a lot of people probably listening to this podcast probably laughing. They're like, haha, he said how to throw a jab. Yeah. The people listening to this podcast don't know how to throw a jab. That's what people don't realize. You think you know, but if you can't do it, you can tear someone apart with a jab alone.
And it's crazy. I won my last fight with the jab. Now this fight, I'm gonna throw some uppers. I'm gonna throw some overhand rights, man. I won my last fight with the jab. With the jab, just to, So
yeah,
good.
Beautiful. Yeah, very important, man. Now, what about your last fights? Because your last fights, obviously, you learn a lot from all of them. I think when you were messaging me before, you said you wanted to talk a little bit about your previous fights. What did you want to talk about those guys?
The Mike Taylor fight, I didn't have any skill. The Knick-Knack fight, I went from 330 pounds to 280 from, I think, May the 16th to June the 24th. And I got in there and I was weak. I got in the corner and panicked and took a body shot and just sat down, But if me and him were to fight again, I would stop him because he's not a more skilled boxer than me, He weighs more now, So I'm grateful. I'm grateful to start out 0-2, And now I'm looking to go ahead and go 2-2, and just having somebody in my corner, that's all I needed, because I traveled to Cali by myself. It was miserable.
Right. So this is the thing too. A lot of times with these influencer boxers, I always wonder, Bam Bam, it's like, how much do these gyms, when you go and find these coaches, how much are they taking you seriously? Because some of these martial arts coaches, like the gentleman you're speaking with, what is the gym that you're training at? Can you say?
I train out of Unico Martial Arts out of Jacksonville, North Carolina. He's amazing. He's one of the greatest. He's one of the greatest coaches in the world.
Nice.
We do a lot, and he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. We wrestle sometimes too, and I be kickboxing. So I'm learning everything. It's a blessing, truly is.
Well, that's actually good, not to just, it's good to obviously get your fundamentals in the boxing stuff, but kind of good that you're mixing in, kickboxing and the jiu-jitsu and stuff like that too, because it kind of gives you a more rounded game for outside, obviously, but even in the boxing terms, you kind of have developed a way to move around a little bit better in there.
Yeah.
And my coach said that same thing. He said with the martial arts, it all ties into boxing, like head movement, feet work, stamina. It all ties in.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, definitely, man. And the thing too is like you need to train different disciplines as well. So it's different muscle groups. Because the thing is, if you only train boxing and depending on how your regimen is and stuff like that, you can just get very good in a few things, but your overall body isn't conditioning, right? And so you want to have like a well-rounded athlete or, your body as best as possible to get in there. Sam, sorry, you said Unico. What's the gym called?
Unico Martial Arts.
Okay. And that's in North Carolina?
Yeah, Jacksonville, North Carolina. I drive like maybe 20. I think I drive 30 minutes to the gym there and 30 minutes back. I'm dedicated. We're in there. Like my coach, he was a professional UFC, I think a professional MMA fighter. So he takes this as really serious. Like it's days I don't want to be in the gym, but I'm in there because he has a family. I have my parents, I have my siblings, we don't have time to play games. And he's already traveled with me one time. So if he's going to leave his family to come on the road with me, I got to lock in and take it serious. And that's what I did.
Nice, man. And Bam, you coming out of North Carolina as well. Unico is not your arch nemesis. You don't have any problem with these people. You're
no,
okay?
I'm not even sure where. I haven't heard of Unico. Just, not because it's not out there or anything. It's just, honestly, I don't know any other really gyms in the area or in North Carolina that much though, because I just kind of, in my gym doing my work, so not really paying attention at the time, So
no, that's fine. I'm going to give them
at all, but.
No, I'm going to give them a shout out. I'm finding them on Instagram.
Absolutely.
I am following them now. Unico Martial Arts, 13 East Doris Avenue, Suite C in Jacksonville, North Carolina. Hit them up at unicomartialarts.com. unicomartialarts.com. Yeah,
change your life.
I'm going to go there. That's for sure.
Go do some sparring with It's Big Sam.
Yeah, we can get in there and get some work in.
Heck yeah, man. That'd be fun. Good time.
Yes, Big Sam, before we started the podcast, man, like you're an influencer, right? So, you're part of this whole rage, which is good, bad. It's good for you because you've made it, man, but sometimes great for society, sometimes bad for society. Things are kind of all weird all over the place. We were talking a little bit before the podcast started, Bam Bam, about like just the support that you have from people can feel really weird. And it's a common thread that I hear from people that I speak to on this podcast about people saying that, sometimes the people that you think are closest to you, people that are your friends and stuff like that, you think that they're going to support you, but they don't, man. You know what I mean? Like you think that these are going to be your biggest supporters, but they almost root for your failure. And Sam, you said that you wanted to talk a little bit about that as well, or you could speak to it.
Yeah, like I noticed, like it's a lot of people. Like a lot of people like seeing me boxing, but with the influencer stuff, it's a lot of people that they used to comment, they used to show love, and they just, like I have a pure heart. I'm very kind-hearted. I've given a lot of people my last, and it's crazy. A lot of people that I've done stuff for, we don't talk anymore, but it's okay. You got to let people go out your life, because I give people my last. I've done it. I've gave away a lot of free merch. I've done it all, I've gave my last to people. I've done it all, pretty much all, so it's okay. I've been doing this since 2017. I still have my account. God's watching over, the work's going to get done. The real's going to last.
Right.
Yeah.
It's hard though, man. Sorry, Bam.
No, I feel them on that. There's, a lot of people follow you. A lot of people, even before you got big or whatever, you think they're going to support you. They don't.
No.
You think they're gonna have your back, they don't. It's out there. It sucks to hear, and it's always a little bit of a disappointment. You're disappointed in the people, but you know what? You just keep pushing forward, and that's what you do. And you just continue to succeed, and either they're along for the ride or they're not.
Yeah. Big Sam, I saw you post something on your Instagram the other day, and I just took a screenshot of it. It said 2025, I don't want to hear your emotional side story. If it ain't about no bag, fuck ya. From 2017 to 2024, I did everything from the heart. That shit is dead. Fuck ya brands, respectfully. We can get money together or we can beef. Pick your position.
It's like this, I'm a very positive person, but sometimes I have to let people know, like, I've done it, like, even fights. Every fight I've done free sponsors, and it's people that have money, that's rich. Like, I'm working a job, making ends meet, doing what I got to do. But it's people, like, they see how I am, so I've been told a couple days ago that you got to start letting people know from the get-go, like, I need that bag, and to me, I've never done this internet for the money. I've done this because I love it, but I'm getting older, I'm growing up. It's time to it's time for people to respect what I got going, and they don't, like, I'm over here putting people on my stuff for free. I just show love. I'm just genuine, but it bites me every time,
Yeah, that's tough,
Yeah.
man. It is weird because actually back in the early days, one of my early podcasts was with a friend of mine. He was opening up his massage therapy business, right? Like a massage therapy and a sports performance business. And we talked about the fact that, like, he opens up his business, wants it to grow and whatever. And then he gets hats to sell. And people are like, yo, can I get a hat? Can I get a free hat? Can I get a free hat? He's like, can you not buy my hat for $20, you motherfucker? Right? Like, you think these things aren't free. Like, I'm doing this like for my business. So if you want to support, that's cool. You want my free hat. But, like, can you just pay for my hat? So putting sponsors on your stuff for free, man. Yeah, I agree. I think you go out there with nothing on rather than give people that, because it's like, look, man, you want to support. The whole point of branding on my stuff is that then you get exposure. Like, you're paying for the commercial. You know what I mean?
Sure.
If I'm just putting it on free, then how does that make any sense that you get the exposure and I get nothing out of it?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, but this fight, I got some brands on this fight, on my fight robe. They've taken care of me. I got a couple of sponsors. I got a sponsor with tequila. They've sent me bottles. They show me. I got Dr. Dabber. They've been with me since 2018, 2019. I don't even smoke weed, but they blessed me. They've done a lot for me. I got a window tint company. They gave me some tents for free. I've built a lot of relationships with a lot of people. I've got boxing companies sending me gloves, sending me free hand wraps, so people like that. Like, I don't care about the money. It ain't even about the money. But if you can put something so I don't have to spend money to get that product, then I'm cool with it. That's just how it is.
Yeah. Of course, man, because you're starting out. Here's the thing. So down on the screen, because in case you're just listening to this on audio, it's Big Sam on Instagram. Go to @itsbigsam. You can find all his other links on there, right? His YouTube channel and everything that you do. And then I didn't know, but dude is on Spotify with all these songs.
And it's crazy. I had 690 monthly listeners. I'm down to 460, but it's crazy. I don't even promote my music. I was blessed to get a feature from a couple big artists like Daylight. He's been with me from the start. He's really supported my Pringle movement. I got a guy named Hank Trill. He's really amazing. I've been able to get a lot of features for free, so I just push my music and I have fun with it. I don't even write. I'm a comedian, so I try to make it as funny as possible, but I just enjoy having fun with it.
Dude, I love it, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check out the music now.
Yeah, dude. Okay, and here's
what's the music plug now? Same thing.
It's Big Sam.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Yeah, definitely gonna check it out.
And I'm not lying here. Okay, so like when I went on, I'm like, all right, what is this? This is gonna be like some goof. It's quality stuff, man. It's not bad at all. It's well produced. Like, it does not seem like it's a joke. It seems like it's a legit artist, which you are. You know what I mean? But, like, you're dabbling in so many different things, Sam.
Jack of all trades right here.
Yeah, I've made a Mexican song. I made a country song. I've made Christmas songs. I just be having fun, because I'm real versatile, I tried different things. Like, like I noticed like my supporters and fans, they love seeing smoking stuff, you know. So I may throw other videos out. They don't do the numbers that me smoking a Pringle or smoking a Twinkie would do, you know. So 2025, I'm definitely going to get back on that. It's been a while since I smoked food, you know, because I've been boxing, but I'm going to throw it in there this year.
Well,
Okay.
how does that but so how does that go then, Sam? Like I do want to ask, because like how tied are you to that? Like is it like you're handcuffed to that kind of content? Do you feel like, hey, I want to evolve past this, I want to do something different, but then you're like, well, shoot, my likes and stuff like that come from that, so I got to go back to like, how does that play though in your head? Because at some point, like I want to quit this podcast every single day, but I get so much enjoyment out of it, you know what I mean? I get to meet cool people, I get to talk to cool people, so I keep getting sucked back in. But like, what about for you?
See, I'm not going to ever quit on the smoking stuff because that's really what gave me a name, you know. But I've had a lot of viral videos. I've had a video do 60 million of me drilling on my leg. Like I like to drill funny things on my leg. Like I like MILFs, I like cougars, which I really do. I love me being 26. I love older women, you know, because they're so experienced. They got their life together, you know. And I like women my age, but I prefer older women, you know, because it's just something I like, you know. I've always wanted the older woman. I don't know why. It's just me.
Hey, that's
so. What about
right.
boxing? What about boxing? Like, where does that sit in? Is it something you're gonna kind of continue to get more serious with? Maybe we get more and more fights.
Yes, I'm trying to. I was supposed to go to the UK. I'm supposed to fight in the UK in March, but I don't know what's going on with that. I think the guy I was supposed to fight, he's turning pro, but with the boxing, I'm never gonna switch up on boxing because it's helped me get in shape. I had got up to 330 pounds. I'm gonna fight this fight at 280, maybe 270ish, 280. You know, it's a blessing. My doctor's proud of me, you know, because I've been tested for diabetes 3 times, and in Jesus' name, I never had it any time. But I just love to be in the gym. You know, I love being in Planet Fitness, any gym. I love being everywhere. I do a lot of running. Like I run on trails, I run on roads. I love to run.
Yeah.
Okay.
See? So but to Bam Bam,
too.
But so to Bam Bam's question though, it's like this boxing thing you're taking seriously. Like obviously we're hearing it about the training, but so the idea is after this fight, and so I'm gonna put this up here because I know we're running out on time here, but here you are, Creator Fight League 3, Cake Paul versus Big Sam in Nashville, Tennessee, January 24th. After this fight, Big Sam, everything goes your way. You get the win. You're now 2-2. What's next for Big Sam?
I'm gonna say one thing before I say that. I want to shout out to Anthony the Goat Taylor, man. He's amazing. He gave me an opportunity. I want to shout out to Heather Aces. She's a beautiful, great promoter. She works her ass off, you know, and she's gonna get the flowers she deserves. But I've been talking to Jorge Masvidal, you know. I'm trying to go ahead and go fight for him because he actually offered me an opportunity before the Nick Nack fight, you know. So we want to go out here and perform, get this win, and I would love to fight for Game Breed Promotions. That's been a dream, you know. I really enjoy what he does, man. Him just talking to me it was all the motivation I needed to lock in, you know. That's really what I want to do. Or go to Misfits. I would love to go to Misfits, you know, because you got big boxers. Like I fought Nick Nack, he's over there, but you got a guy named Chase Demore. He called me out. He's talking about I should retire from boxing, but I don't think he can see me. He's one of the worst boxers on Misfits. He's terrible. He's in shape. I got titties. I got man boobs, you know, but he's gonna get beat by a dude with man boobs. But he's all fit. He played football. He wasn't even a good football player. My football highlights look better than his highlights. But I want to knock him out. You know, most definitely do. Really do.
Nice, man. And I do want to say because I know we were talking about this off air before we started, but you're saying Jorge Masvidal, the BMF.
One of the he started out with
your friend.
Fights in the streets. Yes.
Yeah. He's your friend. He's talking to you. He's giving you advice and stuff like that. And so he's become a support for you. And so you're hoping to fight in Game Bread Promotions.
Yes.
Nice,
I would love to. And then you got James Toney. He was one of the greatest boxers to do it. He gives me a lot of information. He helps me out. It's a lot of the Adrian Broners, the Jorge Masvidals, the James Toneys, man. Those 3 right there, I'll break my back for them, man, because no matter what's happened, they like my post. They DM me, they check on me. They treat me better than followers. They got millions of followers and they're able to talk to me. That is wild. So I'm grateful for them. I'm grateful for them 3. I love them to death, man. Anything they need, I got them. You know, and I was able to get my bro Adrian Broners from Cartier Shades. You know, I love him, man. I appreciate him for everything.
That's nice, dude. Man,
Good
I'm
to
so
hear.
happy for you. Big Sam, man, I met you 2 years ago. You were a very humble guy back then. And like, look, because I just watch your silly videos and I'm watching you smoke Pringles and Twinkies and draw things on your leg and stuff like that. And
Yes,
I'm like, all
sir.
right, who's this guy going to be? Bam. And then he comes on and he's so eloquent in his speech and he's thoughtful and he's caring and a God loving man and a very good guy. 2 years later, Sam, you're the same guy, man. You're
Yes,
just
sir.
as good of a person.
I won't ever change, man. I'm thankful for you, Bam Bam, man. It's a blessing to meet you.
Of course.
And Timmy,
Great to
man, we
meet you.
locked in for life, man. I think
course,
actually
dude.
Albert Ochoa introduced me to you. When I seen
That's
him,
right.
yeah, when I seen you interview him, I wanted to come on.
Nice, dude. Yeah, and you know what? That's so funny you mentioned him because Albert Ochoa, I know he's doing his thing. He's kicking ass, man. And I've been talking to him ever since I interviewed him. We always stay in touch too. I think he's coming back on the podcast very soon. I'm just waiting for him to get his next fight.
I think he has him a beautiful girl now. She's a pro boxer. He's amazing,
Yes.
man. He was
Yeah.
he was one of the only ones to call me after I lost the knick-knack. He told me that I need to go in and get in the gym and take this serious, And he's I think
Nice.
he's 5-1 now, and I'm 1-2. So we're gonna climb the ladders together.
Nice, dude. I'm so happy for you, Big Sam. Before I let you go, man, I don't think I asked you this question before, and I know our next guest is here watching, but he's had friends on this podcast, so he knows that this question is going to come at the end of the interview. So it's okay. He doesn't have to plug. You don't have to plug your ears, mean Devin Turner. Big Sam, I'm going to ask you a question that my mom used to ask me almost every day of my life growing up. On a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you?
A 1,000,000%. No matter what's going on, man. I woke up this morning. I'm grateful. Even to be on Fight Insight podcast is a blessing. I'm grateful.
I'm happy for you. Big Sam, man. I am a huge fan of yours, my friend. I'm really happy. I'm waiting for your success, dude. Whatever comes next to you, you have a home here at Fight Insight Podcast.
Amen.
I'd love to have you back, my friend, and let's talk about how that experience goes and what goes on
Yes,
next.
sir.
Hopefully, Bam Bam comes to beat you up down in North Carolina. You know what I mean?
I need all the. I love
You
to
go have some
spar.
fun.
I love to get hit. It makes me stronger.
Me
Yeah,
too.
Well, yeah. Well, we'll see.
I do.
We'll see how you both talk after you guys actually spar, and we'll see how that goes.
Be a good time.
God bless you, Bam Bam, and God bless you, Timmy B. Thank you.
He's a great dude, man. Bam. Look, if you ever get the chance to go train with him, I would love for you to go there and show him some stuff because these influencers, man, dude, like we were talking about the jab, if you can learn a few techniques, even if it means like a couple set combos that when you're dead tired, your brain and muscle memory just goes, I'm going to throw this 1-3-2 or whatever the hell that combo is going to be that you're going to memorize and be able to throw, that can save you.
Oh, absolutely. I've had personal experiences, man, where you're getting tuned up or whatever, or getting tired, and man, your body just kind of takes over, reacts for you, puts you in a better position, make sure to fight back, continue to fight back. So, muscle memory is a real thing. The more you train it, the more you practice it, the better you're going to be, and the better your mind is going to be when you're not really thinking.
Yeah, no, exactly, dude.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. We're going to get to our second guest now because, look, this guy, I could just talk to him about nothing all day long. This guy's a really cool dude, man. I met him down at Fight League Atlantic, of course. Bam, you've met the co-owner of Fight League Atlantic. Of course, you met Derek Clark. We had a podcast together. Have you met any other of the Fight League Atlantic fighters? Were you on with Ben Lees?
I met one.
Oh, Abdel, the mummy.
Well, I met him, yes, and then I met, or maybe he wasn't a Fight League Atlantic.
Someone else? All right. You've been on too many times. That's the problem.
I've been on a bunch. It's hard to keep track,
All right.
Mummy, the mummy. I met the mummy for sure.
Yeah, that's what I said. The mummy, Abdel. Yeah, Abdelaziz. You had him on. So, okay. So let's get on with our second guest, and then we'll talk, because I do want to talk about some current event stuff too. This is what happens when we have two guests on the podcast. It's hard to always get to all the current events. But I do want to talk about some stuff and some stats that I've seen. But okay, here our next guest is he's a mean guy, Bam. So we don't know how this podcast is going to go, but he's a mean guy. He's from the East Coast of Canada, where normally everybody is nice. He's fighting out of Fredericton, New Brunswick. He trains at Evolution Training Center alongside Fight Insight alumni Rory Gillis and Mr. Entertainment Ben Lees. He's set to return to the Fight League Atlantic cage on Saturday, February 1st. In his backyard, Moncton, New Brunswick, in the Moncton Coliseum. Get your tickets for Fight League Atlantic's FLA 18 now at fightleagueatlantic.com. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the podcast for the very first time, Mean Devin Turner.
Beautiful intro. Loved it. Loved
What's-
it. Good to
what's
see you
going on?
guys.
Great to see
Look
you.
at you. Mean
Just
Devin
another
Turner.
day in the life for me.
Bam Bam, is it
Well,
like looking in the mirror here?
First off, I like the beard. I like the hair. Love the shiner.
Oh yeah.
Dude, you're on point.
I'm getting it. I got this just for the podcast.
Very nice. You just told it. Did you tell Ben Lease just to sock you one just for the show? Is that what happened?
He does that anyway on a regular basis. I don't gotta ask him.
Nice. Mean Devin Turner, man. I'm so happy to have you on this podcast, dude. You're a Fight League Atlantic fighter fighting at FLA 18, like I said, on the first show of the year, which is looking to be a crazy card, Bam Bam. This is in the Moncton Coliseum. I'm gonna be there on February 1st. It's gonna be a great night, man. Like the fights that they have listed so far are fantastic. And of course, Mean Devin Turner is there back at Fight League Atlantic, which I'm very happy that you are back. Mean Devin Turner, for the people that don't already know you, who is Mean Devin Turner?
I'm just a regular fighter, man. I'm not nothing special about me, man. Just gritty guy, go out, perform as hard as I can, come forward, push the pace. Where I lack in technique, I try to make up with my ability to push the pace and dictate where the fight is. If you're gonna put a beating on me, you're gonna put it on me where I want it to be, type of thing. So other than that, man, I just work and kids. I got 5 kids, so I got a big family.
Nice.
Work, fighting, and kids, man. That's all there is about me, really.
Well, that sounds like you have some pretty special things for you going on for you.
Oh yeah, they're great. They're great things.
Yeah, dude. And here's the thing, man. You're training out at Evolution Training Center, which, of course, like I said, Rory Gillis, Ben Lease, all the other great fighters out there, right? You've got a really nice supportive team out there.
Yes,
that shows up, dude. And, they're staples of the Fight League Atlantic banner, which I'm so happy. Every event I go out there, whether they're fighting or not, whether you guys are fighting or not, you're always there. You're supporting, which I think is a big thing. How happy are you to get this fight, and how important was this matchup for you?
This matchup means a lot, actually. I've been asking for this matchup for a couple years. We've kind of had the same record for a while. We've fought some of the same guys. And in terms of FLA opponents, there's not a lot of guys fighting at 45 right now. When I started fighting, my first fight for FLA, there was a ton of guys fighting at 145, but now everybody's moving. They're amateurs, right? So you're figuring out your weight and stuff. There's guys moving down to 35, and then there's guys who don't want to make that cut anymore, so now they're up to 55. So everyone's kind of all over the place. Me and Levi have kind of stuck in this weight category for a while now, so it's a fight we've been asking for. So I'm excited to do it. I'm excited to kick off the year. I kicked off the year last year with my last MMA fight. So it's I'm going to do it again. And last year was a banger of a fight. This one's going to be even better.
Yeah, last year, Bam, Devin Turner competed on the first card. I think it was of 2024. I guess it was, because it was the February card as well, right?
Yes, February 3rd.
Yep, and that was a amateur title fight.
Yeah,
that you had,
event,
which was the co-main event. It was a very good fight, man. You did not get the win on that one, but what was interesting is you fought Dylan Shepard, correct? General Dylan Shepard.
Yes, sir.
And you told me that you are now training with the man.
We went down this weekend for a little trip and trained with them, which was awesome, man. I don't do a lot of cross training because I'm kind of old school in that way with the loyalty, and plus everyone around here fights each other, right? I don't know who my opponents are going to be from one day to the next. Yeah, but they got a lot of great guys down there. My last MMA fight, one of their guys smoked me, so where better to learn, right? In my opinion, Dylan's pro now, but before he turned pro, in my personal opinion, he was the top guy at 145 for an amateur, probably in the country. So not a hard loss to take. I'm an old guy too, man. I'm 35. These guys are mid-20s, young prospects, UFC aspirations, all that stuff, and I'm still going out and hanging with them. And Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
got off the beaten path a little bit with the answer there, but
No,
That's
dude.
all right,
No,
yeah.
we gotta let this go wherever it goes. But look, 35 though, you're in your amateur career. You're fighting pretty frequently, man. Because I know we haven't seen you at Fight League Atlantic since last February, but you've been staying active. Like, don't get things wrong. Like, you've been competing all over. Let us know a little bit about some of the stuff you've been doing.
yeah, so I've been doing, as always, I do a lot of jiu-jitsu competitions. So lately, I haven't been doing many tournaments, but Breakthrough Grappling Series, which I'm sure you're familiar with, they've been putting on these wicked events with like singles, super fights, different MMA guys having jiu-jitsu matches and stuff, which is awesome. I kind of prefer to do that nowadays, now that I'm more experienced. I don't really need to be back doing all those tournaments and stuff, man. It's a grind. So it's hard when you're training for MMA fights. So yeah, but lots of jiu-jitsu competition, had a few kickboxing matches, made my boxing debut a couple months ago, which went really well. Yeah, jiu-jitsu competitions, kickboxing, boxing. I like to do it all, man. I take fights where I can. So
Well, that's great, man.
unfortunately, MMA it's getting bigger, but it's not. You can't take a fight every month here. I'd fight every day if I could, guys. If I could get, as long as I'm healthy, man, I'll take a fight every single night. I don't care. I basically do fight every day, man. I spar every day with good guys. So
Yeah. Well, it's great that you're mixing in a little bit of everything, different, jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, you're getting the work in on a, higher level kind of, I guess, per se, with eyes on you and stuff in a competition, people watching you, the tournament thing you said, in a boxing ring or kickboxing ring, boxing ring, you're getting those experiences. Those are only going to help you get better in MMA, in an MMA fight, you kind of combine it all together. So being able to do individual, competitions is good.
yeah, I like it. I'm starting to get known as like one of the most active guys around here and stuff. So I'll take all the fights, any place, anytime, any style, man. I'll whoop your ass. How do you want it?
Yeah, that's the thing, man. And here's the thing too, Bam. Like, when I started going out to Fight League Atlantic, you go out there and you see people, and it's so funny because one of me and Devin Turner's training partners is Rory Gillis. We had him on the podcast. He's the nicest guy on the planet.
Most
and it's
humble,
so funny.
man.
Super humble, super nice. Bam, he's a fireman. He's got this giant mustache. He looks like just the kindest soul. He's a killer in the cage, mind you. And he's also fighting on the card February 1st as well, right? He's at FLA 18. He's fighting.
Yeah, second pro fight for him.
Yeah, so big thing for him. But here's the thing: it's so funny. We were asking some of the fighters I know at Fight League Atlantic, and we're like, "Who's the NMF? Who's the nicest mother?" And unanimously, people are like, "It's Rory Gillis. It's Rory Gillis." And then you look next to Rory Gillis, and one of his friends is this psychopath here, Mean Devin Turner. You're like, well, this doesn't really, And so, like, the first few times I see him and whatever, I'm like, okay, this guy's like, this guy's probably going to kill me by accident, But then you start talking to the guy, and he's like such a nice guy, man. Like, Devin, like, you're such a nice guy. You're very humble, so respectful. Like, you can see all the fighters around and the people, they all love you, right? Like, you're a good guy, man. So, I mean, how does that feel, though? Because, I mean, obviously the nickname is Mean Devin Turner. You play into it. You've got the look. You've got everything going. So what's the dichotomy? Are you a nice guy? Are you not a nice guy? What's going on?
I'm a nice guy in general. I talk a lot of shit to the fighters. I think at first it kind of rubbed people the wrong way, but I'm just having fun with it, man. Like I said, I'm an older guy, so I'm getting in as much fun with this game as I can. I like ruffling some feathers and pissing some guys off, man. If your name doesn't say Evolution beside it, I'm probably going to say something about you.
That's good.
I heard a little birdie, well, actually a few little birdies told me that when you were coming on this, they said that I should ask you about what you did when you were not, see, this fight coming up is in your hometown, right? Like, it's in your home backyard. But I heard that when you were in front of a non-home crowd, that you gave the people quite a talking to. Was this at one of your last fights? You started talking trash on the crowd a little?
Yeah, there's so my last kickboxing match, it was in Quebec, just inside Quebec, Pointe-Lacroix. So out of my hometown, the guy was fighting. He's from northern New Brunswick, Frenchtown, so he's kind of the hometown guy coming in. I've had to deal with some hometown guy situations before where maybe it's like, I won that, but I'm not the guy. So at the end of the fight, the entire fight, I stormed him down, kept him in the corner, hitting him with combinations, beat the crap out of him, broke his leg in the third round with leg kicks. He did tough out that third round. I'll give him that. He made it to the end of the third. But again, hometown guy, he was limping around like a wounded dog. If that was me, they would have pulled me out of there in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? So end of fight ends. We're getting to the decision, and I couldn't help it. I'm yelling at the crowd, don't screw me on my win. I stormed this guy down. I snapped his leg. I know he's your boy. And, of course, Ben's looking at me like, man, there's only 3 of us here, bud. we might have to fight our way out of there. Good thing is, I think between the 3 of us, we probably had the best grappling in the building. We would have been all right.
Yeah,
it was still going to be 3 against hundreds though, so it might have been a problem.
I like our odds.
But you know, that's the thing though, Bam. You know, like out on the East Coast at FLA, like one of the early videos I always remember watching was where one of the commissioners or someone from the commission was talking, and they were like, you know, no swearing. If you get on the mic, no swearing. They do try to keep everything, you know, because they want this to be a good organization. They want it to grow. They want it to be a fan-friendly experience, but they also want it to be a family-friendly experience, right? So they do want fighters to try to keep a level of decorum to kind of help the sport grow, which I think is great, in all honesty.
Yeah, you know, the UFC, you know, they did that. Every promotion, you know, I think kind of tries to do that. You know, no swearing. We're on TV or whatever. Or no swearing in front of people, stuff like that, kind of like that. But you know, the emotions get to you, man. You're in there, you're fighting somebody. You know, you're basically fighting, you know, for your life in a sense. You know, you got to put food on the table. You know, you're going in there against another person to see who's the best. You know, your emotions get going, the fire gets going, and you know, sometimes you slip out some bombs, man. You slip out some words.
Especially the rush after a win, man. You feel like a king after that. Who's gonna stop me?
There's nothing. The feeling is there's nothing compares to it, man. When you after a win, especially after if you finish somebody. Whew.
It's no telling what I'm gonna do or say after a finish.
We'll keep everybody will keep the mute ready on the mic in case it gets too crazy. It's funny though, because you know, I don't know when I'm going to end this podcast. I always say it, but one of the fighters that I do want to interview before this thing gets taken down is I do want to meet Charles Radke, Chuck Buffalo in the UFC. Bam Bam, I think you know him, right?
Okay. Yeah.
He's the guy who, because when I heard this story about Devin Turner, I was like, oh, that's what he did. One of the things that he did really badly was he started calling all the fans in whatever crowd he was, he started calling them all bad words and stuff like that and got everybody riled up. And I will say, I'm going to put it back here. Where is Chuck Buffalo? Hashtag where is Chuck Buffalo? Look, I've been calling this dude out for a long time. He said he's coming on the podcast, so I'm waiting this boy out, man. But I want to talk to him because he gets a lot of heat, man, from the press and the media. Like, I think the media really hates this dude.
But you got to think too, like in the same as me and Devin Turner here. You know, you get eyes on you, you get attention on you, and even if you're not so like, you know, hey, look at me or whatever. It's just the fire you get going in you after a win or after, you know, you're standing right there seeing at a decision and you're in a hometown of some other guy after you just beat him up and you know the risk that there is there. So, you know, you get a little heated, you get a little excited, man. And with that, just naturally eyes come on you, you know? So.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, Bam Bam being the nice guy that he is, I remember when you were hated for 2 fights in a row when you beat Matt Brown and then Robbie Lawler.
Yeah.
You know, Bam Bam sitting there, he's like, I'm just a nice guy. And the crowd's like, boo, Bam Bam, we hate you.
Oh, you.
Robbie Lawler's actually my all-time favorite fighter, so that one hurt me a little bit too. Awesome fight though, Bam Bam. That was a sick fight, man.
Thank you.
He's
a stud, dude. I'm a huge fan of Robbie Lawler as well.
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, that was crazy.
You fought the who's who of welterweight, man. You fought everybody.
Yeah,
thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was a fun time. Hopefully we're not done yet, you know. We're maybe not in the UFC anymore, but we're going to see some promotions out there and get some scraps in.
Well, here's the thing. Me and Devin Turner, have you heard of the GFL?
Actually, I just recently started hearing about it. I'm not entirely sure what the details are on it, but
okay. Well, I'll tell you what's funny is that because that's where a lot of
know.
No, But that's where a lot of fighters seem to be going now. I had a fighter on my podcast last week who is signed to GFL. Now, the reason why I'm putting air quotes, and for those that are on audio, right now, if you sign with them, it's funny because there's a draft coming up on January 24th. And only if you get drafted will you be fighting for them, because they're doing teams. They're doing like 6 teams. They pick 10 fighters. They pick 20 fighters for each team. So 120 fighters will get drafted. But they've signed like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. Like I think it's well over 400 fighters they've signed, which is very weird. And so it's so funny, Bam. I have the podcast last week with Kayla Rocco, and she's out at training at ATT. As I'm doing that podcast, I have another Canadian fighter. I won't say their name. And they're like, yo, I'm going to go get on this GFL thing. And they get signed. They're like, yeah, I just reached out to the right person and now I'm signed as well. Like I'm eligible for the draft. But I'm like, but how do you get drafted? That's the big question, because like, how are people going to know who you are to bother drafting you? Like I'm talking to this Chinese girl that trains out in Thailand at Bang Tao, the Muay Thai gym out there. And she's signed and she's ready to come on the podcast. But it's like, how will some random coach in like Ireland know who the hell you are? Like, why are they going to draft you out of a list of like hundreds and hundreds of people?
Yeah.
So I don't know how this league is going to
Yeah,
go.
that's a strange concept, but
I want, and Devin Turner, like you're trying to make yourself known, like, even riling up the fans a little bit or being a super nice guy or however it is that you do it. Hey, it promotes you, right? Like it brings promotional highlights to you, the organization. As long as you do it in the right way, the organization may like it because they say, hey, this guy's bringing eyes to the sport. He's bringing fans to the arena, right? Yeah. Social media. There, I have a Instagram page that I follow. He's a friend of mine. It's called MMA_gains, and he tracks how many followers fighters gain during the week of their fight, like before their fight to after, to see like how much you gain. For New Year's, he did how many gains the organizations got, like the promotions.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So I'm just going to play a little game with you two, and I'm going to see if you guys can guess how many new Instagram followers these organizations got. Okay. So me and Devin Turner, we're going to start with the big guy, UFC. They were at 39.3 million. How many new followers do you think they gained in the year? They started with 39. How many new followers do you think they gained?
39. I'm going to say they hit maybe 43.
Okay. So you're going to say about 4 million gain, Bam Bam?
50.
Oh, that they hit 50 million?
Yeah.
All right. They gained 6 million followers. Okay. Which is kind of crazy. You've already got 39 million. So now they're at 45.3. Right.
Yeah, that's why I aimed low. I was like, how many more people could be watching?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's the thing, right? And actually, like in truth,
awesome,
I bet you of those 6 million followers, like 5 million are just people making new accounts to like trash people, Okay. How about ONE FC, my favorite organization that's going to go bankrupt in any minute now? They were at 8.9 million. How many new followers did ONE FC get?
I would say they probably hit upwards of 25. I think they seemed like they gained a lot of traction last year, I thought, in terms of
do you follow them?
ONE, yes. Especially ever since they hit Prime, then I can watch ONE a lot more often. Also, a lot of their kickboxing cards are earlier on in the day, so when I'm feeling lazy at work, I might hide out and slap one of those on for a bit.
the nice Friday night fights in the morning. Nice.
Yeah, I like it. I love
Bam,
ONE.
Bam.
What?
Okay, so me and Devin Turner saying they gained like 100%, like 10 million. Bam Bam from 8.9 million. How much did ONE FC gain?
I'm gonna say they got to like 13.
Not even close, both of you. They've only gained 1.5 million. They just cracked 10.4. So I mean, percentage-wise, I'll show the percentages, but it's not huge. The Amazon deal worked on Devin Turner, but nobody else.
I was going to say, did they have that many fights last year?
They have 2 cards every week, Bam Bam. Like,
yeah, they have put on a lot of fights.
every Friday,
Really?
like Devin. Yeah, well, Devin. I hope your employer doesn't watch this podcast, Devin. But while
It doesn't
while
matter.
Devin-
I'm one of the bosses.
Oh,
He does what he wants.
Yeah.
while Devin is playing hooky on work, yeah, almost every Friday morning there's a fight card.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's in their Lumpini Stadium.
MMA, everything.
Mostly
or...
mostly Muay Thai.
Mostly,
But
Muay Thai,
there will be some MMA. They have a card every Friday morning that's on YouTube, so it's free, and then pretty much every Friday night for us, because see, for them they're like 12 hours ahead, right? So that's their Saturday night or Saturday whatever. But there's pretty much like 2 fights every week almost. And if you watch the podcast with the girl that does the announcing on the Friday morning fights, Nara, when you hear for the Friday morning fights, Devin, you hear that girl fighting, representing Thailand.
Oh, I love it.
That voice.
Yeah.
That girl was on my podcast several weeks ago. Nara, she's a great girl,
cool.
man, and she hinted that she thinks ONE FC is going to have a third card every week.
I would love it.
I mean, I don't know how they get money to pay these people, because
Some of them
knows?
seem
But-
to be getting paid a lot.
yeah. Okay, let's go to PFL. PFL started the year at 1 million followers. I mean, that's freaking crazy, right? Because PFL, by January of last year, everybody knew who PFL is. So for PFL to start the year at 1 million when UFC had 39.3 million, like, you're not even freaking close. You're not even in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
But they start at 1 million. This is PFL. They have their first. Remember, in February, they had the PFL Supercard versus the PFL champions versus the Bellator champions. They go on to, sign Ngannou. They have the Ngannou Super Fight card. Then they just ran through their whole season with their Dakota Jacheva winning Female Fighter of the Year across like every platform you can find. PFL starts at 1 million. Where did they end up, Devin Turner?
I'm going to guess they took a big jump just because I hate to say his name at all, but Jake Paul's involved and he's got a massive following. So I'm sure couple little bits on one of his pages and he's got kids watching everywhere. I'm going to say they hit 10 to 12 mil, let's say.
Okay. A 1,000% gain.
Yes.
Bam Bam saying 5 million. Well, you'd both be surprised when they only earned 400,000 followers.
I'm happy to hear that.
What? Why? Wait, why are you happy?
I'm just joking. It's just because I had to mention Jake Paul. Now
I see.
I never.
Guess who's
Good.
not getting,
He didn't make anybody follow them.
Yeah.
Guess who's not
That's
getting
more
signed to
what I'm happy to
PFL?
hear. Yeah.
All right. So PFL only goes up 400,000, man. Like, now that's a 40% gain though, right? Because from 1 million to 101.4. But the problem is, dude, you're 44 million away from the UFC still. Like, how is that even close? Now, finally, I'm going to go to Bellator MMA.
I was wondering if you were going to say it.
Of course, I'm going to do Bellator. Bellator MMA, 3.5 million they start the year, which is crazy low as well. 3.5 million. They had, I don't know how many cards they had in 2024. The whole thing was a disaster. But how many did they gain, Devin Turner?
I'm going to go low on this one, maybe 500,000. Not
Sure.
a lot of talks at Bellator this year.
No. Bam Bam.
Yeah, I was going to say 500,000, but just for the heck of it, I'll say 600.
So, I mean,
500,001.
so you guys, this is not Price is Right. So you guys think they gained more than PFL. Here's the thing. They gained 38,000 followers.
Oof.
Now, who's that 38,000? You sons of bitches are following an organization that's dying. You can come and follow me. At least I'll give you some new content every week.
Yeah, exactly.
38,000. Okay, so here's the screen though, man. Like, this is pretty crazy. Like, when you look at thing. Now, I'm showing the percentage gain as well though. So PFL definitely blows it out of the water because they got a 40% gain.
Yeah.
But UFC,
but if you look at the actual numbers,
but so depending on what kind of nerd you are, Bam Bam, you might like it percentage wise or whatever. But so 15% for UFC, ONE FC gains 17% with their 1.5 million, and then Bellator just cracks 1%. But
does he do very too?
You know what? I don't. Hold on. Did he? No, because I told him. I said, "Hey, man, you got to start doing these other organizations
Okay,
because
okay.
they're going to be catching up." You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like
Like
hold
I
on, let
think
me see if
Bare Knuckle probably had a bigger gain than one, or
Yeah, I would say
than
they
the
would.
one than PFL. I think they
well,
had a bigger gain.
Well, here's what's interesting because I think now what he's done is he shows the followers as of this moment now to start the year for Karate Combat is at 1.7 million. So I'll put these guys back on the screen so you can see. So Karate Combat starts at 1.7, which is almost double freaking PFL. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, how the hell does Karate Combat have that much?
Karate Combat had some good events this year, some very good events.
Yes. BKFC 1.7 million as well. So I'm BKFC really not as much as what I would have thought, really, maybe
Yeah.
for everything that they're doing. And then GFL, as we just talked about, 25,000 followers.
Big.
Ooh. I mean, you got to get up there quick to start making something. But
I think once they have an event, I mean, they should jump. Depending on the event, obviously, but they should jump up.
The big thing that we're going to see with GFL is we're going to see what that draft shows. Because on January 24th, when they do that draft, we need to see who actually gets on the roster.
Yeah.
If you watched the podcast last week, my conspiracy of the week, which I guess it could be my conspiracy of the week this week as well, is that I don't think any of those guys are getting drafted. I think all the guys that they have there are just for show. I don't think Alexander Gustafsson is going to fight. I don't think Anthony Pettis is going to fight. I don't think, Motown Phenom, Kevin Lee is going to fight. I think that they're just there, and I think they're paying them just to promote right now. How can you afford to pay these guys?
Are they?
Somebody's got
promoting
some
it?
money.
What's that?
Are they promoting it?
Yeah,
like
they're
their
on
social
Ariel,
media and stuff.
social media. They're on Ariel Helwani. GFL is using their pictures and photos and stuff
Well,
like
not on
that. You know what I
Fight
mean?
Night, baby.
Well,
Come on.
yeah, like let's go.
You're not promoting it that much, then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
I've just seen a few posts where it shows like old retired UFC fighters, Junior Dos Santos,
but those aren't old retired. They're saying that those guys are eligible for the draft.
yeah.
But the trick is, if they don't get drafted, no harm, no foul. Like now, I've used their image to kind of pull you in. But that said, they've only pulled in 25,000 followers. So I don't know, man. It's a very weird thing. And I'm going to say I may or may not have received a copy of a contract already. So, and I haven't looked at it. I may or may not have looked at it already. But
if you did get it,
yeah, if I did or if I didn't. But so dude, I'm very interested in this because I want to see where things go. The important thing for me is that people like Mean Devin Turner, like your friend Ben Leese, like your friend Rory Gillis, like your training partner / former foe, General Dylan Shepard. I want people to have places to go to fight, to earn a living, to pursue their dreams. You know what I mean, Devin? How cool is it, man, that you have FLA in your backyard?
Oh, I love it, man. In terms of MMA, they're the best platform around. They produce the best content. They got guys like you, Timmy, that help out and make sure they're putting together great content. Couldn't ask for anything better, really. There's not a lot of guys sticking their neck out for MMA, especially on the East Coast. It's still frowned upon around here. It's treated as if it's barbaric in most cities. We're still trying to get it sanctioned all over the place. Everyone's asking FLA, oh, make an event here, make an event here. We got to talk to our local MLAs and all those guys and send letters and harass them and hound them, as annoying as it is. If you're part of the community and you love this, we got to get out there and do that stuff. And right now, Fight League Atlantic is the only guys doing that for us. So yeah, I respect them a ton, appreciate the platform, and
the promotion.
All my
really
training
high
partners
end
do too. Yeah, production's very
end.
good.
The events they put on, very high end. I mean, it's great to have that for, up and coming fighters, new pro fighters, any fighters really, to have a promotion like that to start out in and build in. I mean, to have that quality of promotion to fight for is great.
Well, and that's the thing too, Ben, because this card, right, is in the Moncton Coliseum. It's a huge venue. Like, it's a beautiful professional venue. The look of it, everything, the walkout. Like, Devin Turner is getting the full experience. The fans are getting the full experience. Like, that's the thing. And look, I appreciate you saying that I have any part. Like, I'm just happy to be involved in any small way that I can, Devin, because here's the thing. It's only from my stupid little podcast that I even found out that Fight League Atlantic existed, and then, making friends and stuff like that. And now I'm so happy to be able to go out there and do whatever I can for them to help. But
Pause. It's not stupid.
Oh, the podcast? No,
Yeah.
thank you. I appreciate it, man. But because the thing is like, you meet people like Devin Turner, and you're like, well, if this promotion doesn't exist, where does Devin Turner fight? Where do all these people that have this dream that want to pursue this? Like, my prediction at Bam Bam, as you know, at the year-end podcast, my prediction for 2025, Devin, is that an FLA fighter makes it to UFC. I think it's going to happen, dude.
I would love to see that.
And I really think it's going to happen, and I think it can happen. I'm going to put you on the spot here. If you think a fighter would make it, who do you think is one of the, let's say just one of the first fighters that will make it to UFC, in your opinion, from FLA?
If I was going to pick right off the top of my head right now, you got to say Abdel. Abdel's been the Mummy. He's been stringing together a ton of wins. No losses. I can't remember his record. What is he? 7-0, 8-0 now, which is it's good. If I could predict anybody, it's him.
Yeah.
Right.
He's a good dude.
Right now, Rory's only 1-0 as a pro. I get that, but if I can be biased, that's the guy I want to see. That's the guy. I train with him every day. He's the guy that deserves to be there. I see how hard he works, man. He's a legit hero in everyday life. So in terms of guys I want to see from FLA hit the big stage, it's got to be Rory Gillis. I think if you're going with who's logically going to make it first, I would have to say Abdel. Maybe Christian Savoy gets another chance. That would be great to see. He put on a great performance after getting hit in the knee like that, taking a takedown to the knee like that, and still trying to fight through it. It's not easy, man. This game, it's a tough game.
Yeah. No, I'm really excited, dude, because I think, I'm so happy that there's an amazing promotion out there and putting on these great shows and stuff like that, because it gives the opportunity. Bam, when Devin's talking about Christian Savoy, he's talking about a guy he fought on the Contender Series. So nice. Very, very close to getting that. And but hey, here's the thing. Once you're on the Contender Series, it means you're on someone's radar already. You know what I mean? The small handful of people that get accepted to that show is so small that it already means you're somewhere on their radar, and then who knows what happens next, right? So but and of course, Bam Bam, you did the podcast with the Mummy, so you know that. He's got the look. He's 4-0, Devin, and he's fighting also at FLA 18. So Bam Bam, you got to send him more good lucks as well, as you always do, right?
I definitely hope to make it out.
My bad. I feel like I've been watching him forever. I've seen him since his first fight as an amateur. So like I said, if your name don't say Evolution beside it, I don't know a whole lot about you.
What are you gonna do?
I'm hoping to make it out there to FLA one of these times and see an event. That's for sure. That's something I would like to do.
Love to have you out there.
Yeah, there's amazing cards, man. Devin Turner, is there anything that we didn't touch on that you wanted to touch on? I do want to say, for people listening on audio, obviously follow you at Mean Devin Turner. That's your Instagram, so follow you there. Is there anything that you wanted to say to people, though, that maybe we haven't touched on yet?
Oh, kind of put me on the spot a little bit here. I had all kinds of notes and everything that I was going through. What's on
your note there?
Oh, give me a second. Sorry, Timmy. This is also, just like to point out, first podcast, so I'm pretty proud of that.
Oh, look at you.
First time ever being on a podcast, so you could probably tell the nerves and
No. Dude, you're kicking butt. I don't know what happened to Bam Bam's screen here. He's gone here, but I'm sure he'll join back. Bam, can you hear us? No, okay. He's kind of gone. But anyways, what would you have on the notes? Look at this. You're prepared. What a nerd. What do you got?
I tried to be prepared. I was more prepared, having things ready. Okay, if you ask me this question, I got this.
Well, what did you anticipate, or what did you think I was going to ask you?
Well, we can go right back to the question you had. I was just going.
Yeah.
I was just trying to buy some time to think of some better answers in my head, really.
All right.
Never been a good public speaker. I'm just good at talking trash. That's it.
Dude, that's all that matters. No, man, you're doing great, man, on this, man. Like, no, very pleasant to talk to you. Yeah, the conversation is going well. But yeah, okay. So, but what did you want people to know, or anything that you wanted to say?
Just like to update everybody on, really, we kind of went through it a little bit, really, on what I've been up to, because most people who pay attention to FLA, the last time they see me was in that FLA cage, taking that loss to Dylan. It was a tough loss. I've improved a ton over this past year. Boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu. I've been up in my game as much as I possibly can. I'm bringing a brand new fighter to that cage this time, and I hope everyone tunes in. I'm excited to put on a show. I hope Bam Bam gets to tune in. I love his fighting style. I try to imitate guys like that. I come forward. I bring the heat. And yeah, I lost it again. I suck at this, Timmy.
No, it's fine. No, dude, I'm excited for you, man. Like, I think, like I said, it's a great opportunity, man. I know everything that's that you've been working for. Look, I will say that when I knew that you were going to come on the podcast, I know you promoted on your page, and I really greatly appreciate that. Both Rory and Ben reached out to me and said that you were such a great guy, that they said that they wished you nothing but the best. I mean, Ben sent me a voice message that was so touching. Like, I felt like I wanted to play it for you, but I'm like, I don't know, maybe Ben doesn't want me to play this. But it was really nice, dude. Like, your teammates love you, man. They want all the best for you, and they're so proud of you, and they say that you're such a great guy. I think maybe was it Ben that said, like, he does look crazy and all that, but he's a great guy. He's a really, really nice guy. And I'm like, yeah, I know this guy's a nice guy, But I'm glad that you have a great team around you. I'm glad that, like, you're doing everything. I'm surprised to find out that you're 35, but that's not that old either. Can I ask, is professional where you eventually want to take this, or are you happy to stay within the amateur ranks?
I plan on, MMA wise, if everything goes right, 2 more amateur fights for MMA.
Okay.
And then I plan on going pro. If everything goes the way I plan it to. I don't try to plan too far ahead. I try to stay in the moment, focus on the guy that's coming next. I got a tough opponent coming up, good grappler, so try to stay focused on him. But 2 more. I want to have 2 more MMA fights, and I'm going to go pro with MMA. That's the plan. And yeah, I'd love to probably rattle. Like I said, I'm 35. I'm not looking to get in the UFC. I'm just a badass for my kids, man. when my kids say my dad will beat your dad, they mean it.
Yeah.
So I'd like to rattle off maybe 5 to 10 pro fights afterwards, and probably call her a night, man.
Okay, so when you started,
like I said, I like to stay active. So if I can, especially once I turn pro, I assume that I'm going to get more offers. I can travel more. So
I see.
Health-wise, I'm hoping to rattle off 4 and 5 fights in a year. So 10 fights may seem like a lot, but if everything goes right, I might be able to pull that off in 2-3 years. You know what I mean?
Sure. You just got to find the opponents. You got to stay healthy. Bam, your camera's black. Are you?
You can't see me?
I can see him right now.
You can see him?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. He just kind of came back in maybe a full minute ago.
Oh, I can't see you. You're black on my screen, so I don't know what's happening. But we'll. I mean,
Wait,
either
the whole screen.
Either people. Well, I'm seeing a black screen, but Devin's saying he can see you right now.
Wait,
you can see him? Like his face?
Yep, I can see everything. His face.
Oh. Gorgeous.
Big, beautiful beard, putting mine to shame.
Yeah. Your weak beard, Devin.
Here, I'll try to go out of the camera and come back in. Like,
okay.
Out the camera.
Yeah, okay.
Put it back.
All right.
Mess that all up a bit.
That work?
No, I can't see you, but that's okay. Whatever. If you're gone, you're gone, Bam. But I mean, we can hear you, so that's what's important.
I'm not gone. I'm here.
All right.
One thing I would like to touch back on, you were just saying about Rory and Ben with all the kind words, man.
Mm-hmm.
Those 2 guys are my fight brothers. Brothers in general, man. We've traveled all over the countryside together the last few years. It's been a wild ride, man. I wouldn't be where I am without those 2 guys, man. I owe them the world, man. Especially when it comes to the fight game. I just wanted to say that I really appreciate those 2 guys.
Yeah.
That's great.
Of course, dude. Yeah, no, and look, man, they're friends of mine as well. They've been on this podcast. I'm so happy for them too. Like, the thing is like, look, you can't win every single fight. The measure of your character is oftentimes seen by how you bounce back from adversity, whether it's a loss in the cage or in life or whatever, right? So like, I mean, that's what creates a better human being. That's what creates you as a better person, man. So I'm happy for all the successes you've had. I'm happy to see where you're at and where you're headed. I do want to ask you, of course, I ask everybody on the podcast, and you heard me ask the last guest. You may have seen me ask Ben or Rory, but my mom used to ask me this every day of my life. Mean Devin Turner, on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you?
I'm very happy. Scale of 1 to 10, I'd have to give it a 10 or higher, man. There's
Nice.
not much to complain about. Wake up every day, beautiful family, my health's intact, great fight team, decent paying job.
Well, you're the boss. You could give yourself a raise if you want.
I wish I was that high of the boss.
All right. But okay. And so I'm glad to hear that you're a 10, man. I'm glad to hear that you have the right people around you. Bam, before we let him go, is there anything that you want to say to Mean Devin Turner?
Yeah, man. I love your attitude. So much good stuff around you. Your gym and your loyalty to them, and the work you're putting in. You're amazing. Your family. It sounds like you got a great family around you. Your family's with you through it all, and most importantly, it's that's the most important thing is your family too. And like you said, when your kid says daddy's going to beat someone up, you got to go beat someone up. So I'm really excited to see you perform in February at FLA, and excited to see all the work you've been putting in.
Awesome.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, Bam Bam. And I love your fighting style, man. I try to emulate guys like you, man. Come forward, throwing hands, constantly aggressive. It's awesome. It's an honor to even talk to you, man.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. And I look forward to seeing you going in there scrapping.
Yeah,
Appreciate
man.
it.
You never want to miss a Mean Devin Turner fight. You never want to miss a Bam Bam fight. I will say, man, I'm going to put the poster up here. This is the poster that we've got going on for Saturday, February 1st. It's FLA 18. Go get your tickets now or go buy the pay-per-view at FightLeagueAtlantic.com. You don't want to miss it, man. Like, all the fights look so incredible. And there's your opponent, Levi Nickerson. So it's going to be a great card, man. I'm very excited for this fight.
Stacked FLA card.
Very, very excited. Look, we're coming down. Yeah, we're down at the end of the podcast now. Bam. I will say there's a few things that I wanted to talk about, which we'll talk about maybe next week or so. But Nina Drama's got some problems going on. I don't know if you guys saw that, posting her bathing suit photos and people giving her a lot of trash about that, which is interesting. I want to talk about that. PFL just announced today that you are now allowed to use elbows during the full season. Did you guys see that news?
I did see that.
Yeah.
So here's the thing about that, just really quick. The whole point of them not allowing elbows was so that during the season you didn't get crazy cuts that would prevent you from doing the next fight.
Yeah.
If you now allow the elbows, and it does happen where people get big cuts and you can't fight, they're really going to screw up their whole plan. Like, the whole season goes out the window.
They don't do the two
beast.
fights in a night, right?
No, they don't do 2 fights in a night, but they do, like, you're fighting every couple of months during that season, right?
Yeah. I think because it's like every couple of months, it's not like it used to be. Like, my buddy was in the PFL when it first happened. It was in the tournament, and they didn't allow the elbows, but he fought twice in one night.
No, it's not like that. But all I'm saying, though, is it's weird that you're going to reevaluate the whole program now.
Yeah, you got to stick to your guns on.
Stick to it. What's the point? Who cares? Like, I don't even. Not enough people even watch PFL to even complain about the fact that there's no elbows. So who cares? Like, whatever. That's weird. BKFC Knucklemania is coming up this month in January. I love me some Knucklemania. Next week on the podcast, coming back to the podcast, Killer B Taylor Starling. I can't wait to have her back. She's fighting at Knucklemania. She hasn't fought on a Knucklemania since Knucklemania 1. But, dude, she is an incredible fighter. She's going to be back on the podcast next week, so I'm happy and excited to speak to her. Bam Bam, we're looking to get Corey Anderson on the podcast.
Yeah,
I'm hoping for that. A Bellator fighter who's been talking a lot of trash about his contract.
Yeah, he's been talking some smack.
I just seen today that they matched the guy he was supposed to fight with somebody else.
Oh, really? Wait, the Vadim Nemkov?
Yeah, he just got matched up with something Johnson.
Well,
yeah.
Not Tim Johnson.
Yeah, Tim Johnson. That's it.
Really?
Yeah,
the mustache guy?
Yeah. And then Corey went on to say something Like he posted something about it that like, if you quack like a duck, walk like a duck, you are a duck.
Well, yeah, no, well, yeah, because that Vadim Nemkov fight that was supposed to happen for quite a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's some crazy stuff, dude. Like I'm telling you, those contracts with Bellator, and it's funny, Bam. I'll say really quickly. I know we're going long. Sorry, Devin.
No worries.
I know we were talking before about the contracts, Bam, because remember we were saying like, do the contracts expire and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So right after we had that podcast where we talked about that, I think it's Pitbull or whoever it was.
Someone else just said their contract expired and they
in
got
May.
out of it. Pico.
Yeah.
Aaron Pico.
Oh, Aaron Pico. But
I
they
just
were
saw that.
But see, so I was right. They're like people are asking, "Hey, let me out of my contract." But then I think it was Pitbull though that said, had a meeting with PFL asking them to release me from my contract, but they're saying no. So now I just have to wait till May when it expires. Like, can you imagine these freaking fighters are just sitting there going, "Can I fight someone, please?" And they're like, "Nope." and because the contract doesn't stipulate that they have to offer you a fight like it does in UFC, Bam.
Yeah.
I know that sometimes we can't agree on that 100%, but pretty much the contract is supposed to say I have to offer you a fight, but the Bellator ones don't. So these fighters are just sitting there going, "Can I please have a fight?" And they're like, "Nope." And they're like, "Okay, well now I just got to wait 5 more months so I can like leave this place." And I'm pretty sure while you're under contract, you can't negotiate a deal with someone else. So you're just literally sitting there for 5 months doing nothing.
That's crazy. I'm sure like Devin
messed
can
up.
relate here is like, you know, he said it already a bunch of times on the podcast. Like he wants to stay active. He likes to stay active. Like I like to be active as well. So it's like, you know, it's tough. That's a hard situation for fighters, and especially, you know, who are older or whatever. And, you know, fighting can't fight forever. You know, there's a timeline. So
yeah.
That's the one thing I like about being an amateur is I'm not bound to a contract. So this organization don't want to give me a fight. I message this organization. They don't want to give me a fight. I message somebody's going to let me fight. Somebody wants to watch me fight and not pay me.
Yeah.
the local dollar store is happy to have you in front of the in front of.
If you can't find me a fight, Dooley's got one for me down there somewhere.
No, man, I'm happy that you're at FLA though, and I do hope that we continue to see you there, man. Guys, I think that's it for the podcast. Like I said, next week we're gonna have Killer B Taylor Starling on. We're gonna look to have another someone else as well. Bam, we're gonna try to see Bam. I can't see you at all, so I do hope that when I end up playing this, I'll be able to see you. But if not, Devin, does he look mad? Does he look happy? Is he okay? He's
smiling right now.
Yeah. All right. Good.
He was only gone for a little bit. He's been back for most of it. So.
Oh, okay. All right. I don't know what it's gonna look like.
Let me give a quick shout out before you cut me off.
No, please do.
A quick long one.
Yeah.
So I'm terrible at shout outs. I finally have a chance to think about it. So I'm gonna Got to shout out my sponsors, first of all, Top Shelf Dispensary. They've been with me for quite a few fights, man. They've done a lot to help me. Can't say enough good about them. Treaty Shack, same thing. Been with me a few fights. Helped me a ton. Without sponsors, a lot of us, we don't reach our full potential, especially a guy like me. I got 5 kids, man. There ain't a ton of money floating around all the time. Jay Bennett Carpentry, guy I trained with. Great father, great business owner, another awesome sponsor. Been with me a couple fights. I gotta give a shout out to my whole team over at Evolution. Head coach Andy Young, he's the man. No better coach than him right there. Provides us an awesome training facility. I don't know if you've ever seen our gym, Timmy, but it's got to be one of the top gyms in Canada. There's no way it isn't. It's a beautiful, awesome space. Love Andy and his family. Can't thank them enough. All my teammates, Rory Gillis, Ben Leese, Max Belichick, Matt Swan, Brandon Swan, Kalen, Marshall, Sean Cummings. Oh, I'm sure I'm leaving people out that I don't want to. Gilbert. Spencer. Oh, Spencer's going to hate me for leaving him last. I'm going to end it right on that just because I know it'll bother him. Spencer, man, I wouldn't even have jiu-jitsu without that guy. Jesse Bull, another one of my jiu-jitsu coaches, East Coast legend himself. And last but not least, my family. Today's my 7th anniversary with my beautiful woman. Love her right to death. Tell you how. Can't wait to get home to her here shortly. my 5 kids, Asher, Zaylee, Janaea, Jaden, Peyton. Love you all right to death. That's it for me.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Dude, you killed it. Congratulations to you, man. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Again, there's the
Thanks for
poster
having
here.
me.
FLA 18. Go check it out. FightLeagueAtlantic.com. It's on February 1st. Look, you can still get a flight there now. Book it now. Get out there and watch this in person. There's nothing like a live MMA show. Like wherever you are around the world, go to a live friggin' event. It is so much better than you could ever imagine.
Completely different.
You know, yeah, go check it out, man. Guys, that is it for this podcast. If you're listening on audio, I'm going to end. I'm going to put some, if you're here on video, I'm going to put some videos somewhere around the screen that you can watch other ones. Check out the guns on you, Devin Turner. You're going to see him soon.
I'm small these days. I'm a 145 now.
Dude, can't wait to see it, man. Guys, thank you so much for joining the podcast. I appreciate both of you so much for being here, man. And guys, that is it. We are out of here. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.
Talking with you.
Thanks, boys.
See you, buddy. Bye-bye.